You're listening to the Blue 82 podcast, hosted by Craig and Nicholas. Please like and subscribe so we know that you like what we're doing. And now, let's talk football. Blue 82!
All right, welcome back, everyone, to episode 6, I believe, of the Blue 82 podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Nicholas, and we got some exciting stuff to talk about this week. I just want to say thanks. Looks like we got either last week or the week before. We got
It's
a couple
actually
more.
episode 7.
Do what?
This is actually episode 7.
Is it 7?
Yeah.
Are we sure? Oh, it is episode 7. You're right.
Yes.
Episode 7. Yeah, let's get it. You know, it happens. We're getting to the point now where we got so many episodes out that I don't even know what episode it is. That's awesome. But no, it looks like the past couple weeks, we got a couple more subscribers, some more love. Looks like we're getting some consistent views on the videos, which is exciting for us because
like 30 views almost on video, like almost over a little bit.
Yeah. I think on this one we got like 60 or 70 already. So
yeah, it's like
the last
100, 60, 50,
yeah.
40,
so it's
30. Like
it's been getting pretty consistent, which is awesome because, like we've said before, we don't claim to be the best or anything like that. We're just here talking football. To see y'all out here supporting, watching the videos, things like that, we appreciate y'all. And
I mean, like we said, like we don't even get paid. Like this is just for fun.
yeah, we're just doing it for fun. We love football so much that
Like ESPN ain't paying me or anything. Like...
nah, they should be paying us. We're doing something right, I think. They should be paying us, but nah, I'm fine. Yeah, so, I mean, Nick, you got anything before we hop into the fucking recaps?
Well, we don't just go for the news, I guess.
Yeah, the news is in the injuries.
But yeah, before we start that, I was gonna say, like, shout out to everyone. Thank you, everyone. It's just really nice to see that people are actually finding the content, at least. Like, I feel like that's the hardest thing when you're doing, like, content creation is actually just finding the people, like, people finding it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Finding the right audience and people finding and discovering you, yeah, 100%.
Because, like, you can, like we always talk about streaming, like, you can stream for fucking 10 years, but if no one ever finds it or, like, it doesn't, like, hit that, like, you just don't ever have that, like, huge breakout, like, you basically are doing it for nothing almost, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, there's been so many people that do this stuff, and it doesn't get watched, or sometimes it does. Like,
Yep.
It's just nice to see that we're getting a little bit consistent with it. But, regardless of that, lots of
injuries.
Injuries and news. Like,
Yeah.
Chargers are ass. Like, I don't know what's going on with that team. Fell apart. Huge dud.
Yeah, well,
AFC. I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna give us like some headlines that we're gonna talk about. But the AFC West is ass. Overrated.
Overhyped as fuck.
Like we had this division coming out as the division to beat basically, and it has not lived up.
And don't get me wrong. If I make a prediction or I think something's gonna happen and I'm wrong about it, I'll let y'all know all day long that I was wrong as fuck. Like.
My Raiders. What was our sleeper team? I think.
Yeah.
No. That was my one team to improve whatever. And it's 0-3. Like
0-3.
You went backwards, not forward.
Yeah, I think I mean, you got to look at it at the beginning of the year. Like if we take where we're at now and we think about the beginning of the year, and you see what all those AFC West teams added. Like, you're not going to sit there and think, oh, my God, they're not...
It's not like it's a crazy prediction.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
It is what it is.
But at the end of the day, I think, too, we said building up to the whole preseason, the first few weeks, like, we said that division is going to be competitive as fuck, and it's probably going to end up with 2 teams at the top and then 2 teams kind of at the bottom. So it kind of evened out, and that's how it happened. But at the same time, like, I expected...
I expected these teams to be a lot better. The Chargers for sure have been super disappointing in my opinion. More so probably than the Raiders. Just because of Justin Herbert. Like I really thought Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, and like Mike Williams would like be.
I think my biggest disappointment in this division has got to be the Broncos, man. Like I had them as like the bottom of the 4 teams. I had them at the bottom to begin with, but still like. They're not even, like, competitive in my eyes. Like, yeah, they've won 2 games, but they just look fucking horrendous through the 3 games.
That was
You know what I
another
mean?
topic or headline I was gonna say. Russell Wilson continuing to look like ass. Like,
I think didn't we talk about the biggest like robbery of contracts was Brock Osweiler?
Oh yeah, that was
I
yesterday.
think it's gotta be fucking no on the last episode or one of them with Tyler.
With Nathan. Was
Nathan.
it Nathan or Tyler?
It was one
of them.
It was
Nathan.
It might have been Nathan. Yeah, we talked about like in history, like what was the biggest like robbing contract that somebody signed and ended up being a bust. I think Russell Wilson, and I know this might be an overreaction to most, but in my opinion, from what I've seen in the first 3 weeks on him with the Broncos, he's got to take the cake with the biggest robbery. $250 million and him to look like that, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm, like, shocked. like, what happened to Russell Wilson? Like, Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he just looks lost out there. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. What other topics you got that we're gonna touch on?
The Bills lost. Like basically the Super Bowl favorite laid an egg against the division rival, but still not good when you have that much firepower. You expect it to be a lot more. We can get in that. We'll get in that game.
And we're gonna break down a lot of these games, but
yeah, but that's definitely a big one. The fact that the Dolphins are the Chiefs lost. The Dolphins are the team that beat in the AFC, and the Eagles are the team that beat in the NFC. Like, definitely teams that everyone predicted. Alabama quarterbacks just leading the way. Also, looking at this stream, you're on the wrong week, by the way. But
no, it's because we're gonna start breaking down.
Oh, you want to talk about the Monday day?
Yeah. Once we get there.
True. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So injury-wise, there was a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I can go down the list here on the ones I'm seeing right now. As far
the big
as
one is the Bills safeties out for the year. Is that Poyer or Micah Hyde? Was that Micah Hyde or Poyer? I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those two was out for the year.
I think it's Micah
Hyde. Michael
Hyde. I think.
Is it? I don't know. One of them had a neck injury. They're out for the year.
Yeah, one of the safeties for the Bills, which they have two great safeties, is out. Going down the list from what I see right now, looks like Dalvin Cook with his shoulder injury. They're saying now he's going to be day-to-day. That's a big name. Lions head coach Dan Campbell came out today and said that DeAndre Swift could possibly benefit by taking the next 2 weeks off to help his shoulder heal and then return after Detroit's bye. So that's another big name. We have the
Tua from the Dolphins.
Yeah, he's apparently dealing with some ankle soreness as well.
Mac Jones' ankle.
Mac Jones was in so much pain. Did you see the video? That dude was like screaming.
Yes, he was like screaming. Yes.
Yeah, they're saying he's got a
kind
high
of
ankle
honestly
sprain.
Like a horrific photo and video to look at. Like,
yeah, no,
that was honestly terrifying. Like, feel bad though.
Let's see.
Josh Allen, his finger, hand, I don't know. He looked like he was banged up after the game.
Yeah, they say he's banged up. Rashawn Slater, the offensive lineman for the Chargers, he's out for the year.
Yep.
Which is definitely a tough loss for them because he is.
That's another loss for the Chargers. I feel like they're missing everyone.
Yeah, they're going
like
through
their defense is banged up. I think they said Joey Bosa was hurt too.
Mm-hmm.
His groin maybe or something. I'm trying to think who else is there. Was Khalil Mack also hurt too? Maybe. Or was it someone else? Maybe I don't know. Someone else on that defense might have been hurt too.
It was. I had it pulled up just right here just now. J.C. Jackson. Oh, he didn't play.
Oh, so he didn't even play.
He didn't even play. Yeah.
Because he came back to one game, wasn't it, against the Chiefs? Maybe was it against the Chiefs?
Yeah, he missed the preseason. He had a preseason ankle injury. Played week 2.
He missed the first week,
and
right?
missed week 3. Yeah, he played week 2, missed first week, and then came back. I think. Someone in chat said Alan Lazard had some issues, but I think he's good now. Yeah, I haven't seen anything major about Alan Lazard.
Christian Watson, I think, isn't he hurt too?
He didn't play last week. Yeah, him and Sammy Watkins were out last week. Yeah. Joey Bosa suffered a groin injury. He's going to have tests. They haven't came out and said anything about him yet.
Julio Jones
didn't play. Lions safety Tracy Walker tore his Achilles on Sunday. He's out. Which
I saw that shit.
Sucks for them, yeah. I think that's all that left tackle Trent Williams for the 49ers had a high ankle sprain. I think that's all I've seen as of right now. I think that's like the major pieces that we've seen that have injuries.
Yeah.
With that being said...
Yeah, with that being said, that's like the news recap, I guess, injury recap. We can talk about the Monday night games now from week... This is week 2? Week 2, right?
This is week 2. I will want to say one last big piece of news. The Bengals are wearing the white helmets on Thursday night, so I'm fucking excited to see that. That's going to be sick.
Well, they got that. The Dolphins wear their throwback uniforms then.
Yeah.
So, week 2 Monday night recap. Here we are. Titans at Bills. What did you think?
the Bills slaughtered the Titans. There really doesn't need to be much said about that one.
Yeah, I mean, we predicted it. Let me go back to the predictions. I think we both had the same ones.
We both had
Bills and Vikings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Bills just absolutely looked amazing in this game. Looked unstoppable. Not much to be said, honestly. They took care of business.
They got up so high that they put all the backups in, like college.
That's what I'm saying. Like they took care of business and got the job done.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of funny that both visiting teams combined for 14 points.
Yeah, that is crazy.
The Eagles again, like pretty much the same thing. Like they just went in, took care of business, like it was nothing. Like these games are really boring to watch. Like
yeah, they weren't
after a certain point. Like it was just like it's over. Yeah. Kirk Cousins also primetime did not play well. I think he had 3 picks. I think it was
something like that. It was just horrendous. This game was just ugly for the Vikings.
It's like they just couldn't do anything good.
Yeah.
They get going. They kept trying to give it to fucking Justin Jefferson, and it just kept getting picked, bad passes, just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And yes, Kirk Cousins had 3 picks and 1 touchdown.
Just an ugly game.
And Jalen Hurts had 1 touchdown and 1 pick as well.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders just ran the ball for 80 yards, 4.7 yards a carry.
So I have this ongoing me and my parents, right? We made a bet to where we all pick a team.
Yep.
And the team that makes it the farthest wins the bet, right? We're betting $25. Nothing major, right?
Yep.
Just a little in-house bet, fuck around. I picked the Eagles. My mom picked the Chiefs, and my dad picked the Bills, right?
Yep.
And I have this ongoing joke with my parents now because I don't know if y'all have realized, but if you think about to the first week with the Eagles, right? They put up 28, 30 points in the first half against the Lions.
Yep.
Didn't really do anything in the second half. Second week, put up 24 points against the Vikings. Didn't have to do anything in the second half. This week, which we'll break down more, they put up fucking 24 points against the Commanders in the first half. Didn't have to do anything. So I have this ongoing joke with my parents. I'm like, yeah, the team I picked only has to play one half a fucking week, and they're winning games. You know what I mean? The Eagles just look nice, dude. Like I said, we'll break it down some more and get more in depth to it once we hit their game on week 3. But I just wanted to throw that out there because it's just this funny little running joke I've had.
All right, so break it down now. Week 3 here. We started off Thursday with the Steelers at the Browns.
Yes, Steelers just look. I know people are talking about Kenny Pickett. It's time for Kenny Pickett, but
they are banning the 4.
Yeah, they want Kenny Pickett.
Rioting. They want him to start, and I can see it, but it's at the same time, it's like, what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah, you're not going to be competitive, I don't think.
These seasons are a wash. It's like, you paid money to Mitchell Trubisky, why waste the time?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you might as well just if Mitch is what you're truly thinking is the worst quarterback and Kenny Pickett's better, and again, I think I said this last week, if you know you're going into the season and you know you're not going to hit a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl, I'm not saying don't try, but I'm saying at some point you have to realize, okay, we're not going to do this, so we're not going to make the Super Bowl, so we need to do this because of that. You know what I mean? So it's
I'm okay with them playing maybe week 14 or something, when the season's already at the point the season's over.
Games, but if Trubisky is actually the worst quarterback, why wouldn't you want to just keep him in there? Now you get a higher draft pick. You know what I mean? I'm not saying tank, but at the same time, no need in getting your rookie quarterback hurt No need.
I mean, at the same time, if your O-line's not that good, you're not doing well. Like, why would you want him out there just taking unnecessary hits in a losing season? Like,
yeah, exactly. On the other side of the ball, we got the Browns. I will say they're like, they're onside kick recovery away from being 3-0. If you think about it, you know what I mean. If they recover that onside kick against the Jets, they're 3-0. And think about it. You're starting off 3-0.
That game was fucked.
Yeah, no, that game was fucked. Yes, we're not gonna break that down because we've already broke that down. But like, just if you think about it, it's true, right? Imagine starting off 3-0 and you know you got Watson coming in week 13. Like, that is a good start to be potentially competitive playoff team, and you get an even better quarterback week 13. With that being said, though, Jacoby Brissett is doing his fucking job and he's playing great. Like,
with that said, though,
don't get me wrong, he's not
conversation though that if they're playing well, like, do you want to start Watson? Do you want to put fucking Brissett in? Like, I feel like the locker room kind of dictates also how you have to play a game. How you have to play it. You know what I mean? Because if these guys are believing in this team right now, and Brissett's the quarterback, and then you put in fucking Watson, and then let's say he's not up to speed like for regular NFL, and he starts playing like shit, well then you just lose all momentum right there. You know what I mean? Or not even that, like you put him in there, and like these other guys are like, well, what the fuck? Like me and Brissett were hanging out, doing good, and now it's like that chemistry's all gone now. Like
I get that. I get that 100%. But okay. Think about this, and I'm not comparing players in this sense, right? Don't get too mixed up onto the name and saying I'm thinking this guy's as good as this guy. But let's say, for instance, you have, I don't know, we'll say Tyrod Taylor starting on the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes is out for suspension for whatever the case may be, right? This is all just hypotheticals. Tyrod Taylor's got your team 9-2 after 11 weeks. Patrick Mahomes comes back.
Yep.
You're not going to put Patrick Mahomes back in.
I mean, yeah, but
that's the kind of star. I'm not saying Watson's as good as Mahomes, but that's kind of like the star caliber you have on the bench. You're not going to not put him in. That guy takes you over the top.
But at the same time, though,
I mean, I do 100% agree with what you're saying.
Like, how many weeks, how many like months, like.
But it's also the same. It's also the same thing we talked about with the Broncos game when they kicked the field goal instead of letting Russell Wilson go 4th and 5 and going for it, right?
You're
paying
right
this guy this much money to lead your team. You gave away the whole fucking future for him, essentially. There's no way you can sit there and say
he's not going to not play because you traded for him, you paid him, like he has to play.
Yeah.
But I know it's going to be definitely talked about that if they have momentum going and then they do pull him out and put in Watson and they start falling, then it's not going to be a good thing for him.
And I think everybody on this team knows that this is coming, so I don't think they're getting like too connected to
I'm just saying,
Brissett.
it definitely does affect people because I saw it with the Dolphins when they pulled out Fitzpatrick for Tua in his rookie season. Like,
yeah, it absolutely.
Everyone's just like, well, we were doing good. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
It definitely ruins the vibes and could definitely ruin your season.
I just think it's a little bit different situation because the Browns players in the locker room know that this is coming before the season starts versus you didn't necessarily know that was coming with the Dolphins. You get what I'm saying? Like, you knew they had Tua in the background that he could potentially take over, but at the same time, you never really knew for sure because they're all running around saying, Fitz is our guy, and then all of a sudden, Fitz isn't our guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that situation in my mind's a little different. But it does bring up an interesting topic. Yeah, no, it does bring up
just because you paid him the money, you traded for him, like...
You have to.
You have to put him in. I'd be surprised if he isn't put in.
Yeah.
But moving on here, this was a division game.
We got the Saints and the Panthers. I think the Panthers went up in this game like...
Or sorry, this wasn't... Is this a division game?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
The Panthers went up like 14-0 for like 3 quarters,
I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch any of this game, so I have no idea.
I saw parts of it just from Red Zone, but I think the Panthers were up like 14-0, and then all of a sudden... The game was pretty much over. Like, nobody was scoring for a while, and then I think Saints got 2 garbage time touchdowns.
Chris Olave,
147 yards. Yeah, I had him on my bench. I lost one of my fantasy matchups by 1.4 points, and if I started Chris Olave over Rashad Bateman, I would have fucking won my league. Or won my matchup that week. But I don't even want to talk about that because I'm still pissed off about that. But this was...
I was going to say, looking up the stats real quick. McCaffrey had over 108 yards, 4.38 carry, no touchdowns. Isn't this the guy from the what is it, the Jaguars? Was Keisha Chenault?
Laviska Chenault? Yeah, he was from the Jaguars, yep.
Yeah, he had 90 yards receiving on 2 catches, so they just hit 2 big plays, I guess.
Yeah, he had like an 80-yard run, I think. He had an 80-yard
170 yards with 1 touchdown.
Yeah. I think the Panthers' leading wide receiver after 3 weeks is Laviska Chenault Jr., which nobody expected.
Yeah. I think a lot of people expected it to be Robert Anderson.
Him or DJ Moore. I mean, everybody hypes up DJ Moore so much, man, and I don't know.
That's also true.
He had that 1 year that he was really good. Like, don't get me wrong, but I haven't seen much from him to begin with. This game was
Winston
kind of
had 353 yards, my lord. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
He was throwing the ball all over the place.
41 attempts.
To the other team. Even to the other team, as usual.
Hey.
But no, I mean, this game went about how I expected. I think we picked the Saints. I thought the Saints were going to win. But these division games, you never know how they're going to work out.
Yeah, we both had the Saints.
Yeah. Moving on to the
Again,
shit bowl.
It's just like, that was one of the ones I think we also probably too said it was a toss-up. Like, But, yeah, this one was honestly surprising. Like, I really did not see that coming, like, with the Texans and the Bears there. Like, I really thought the Texans were just going to, like, just win that, like, so easy.
In my mind, I knew it was going to be close, and I don't see... Like, I know the Texans have been competitive against the Colts and the Broncos in their first 2 games, which that, in my mind, I don't know how the fuck that happened. That's a fluke. I expected this game kind of to go how it went. The Texans can't just go down the field and score all over teams, even if it's a bad team. Like, they're just struggling so much on offense that...
Did you watch any of this game? Because I'm not a big Justin Fields believer, just like I'm not like Trevor Lawerence. But like, Justin Fields this game had 8 for 17, 106 yards, 2 interceptions. Like, is he just on a bad team? Is he not playing good at the same time? Like,
they're just not throwing the ball. So I think
like you also went 7 for 11 against the Packers. Like,
yeah, I think when you're on a team, like, you got to think about it too. Like, it's all confidence based sometimes with these younger guys, right? They need to get some good, easy completions, build their confidence up, things like that. I just don't think the Bears are throwing the ball enough to get Fields in that confidence and get him in a rhythm to where he can start completing some passes and not make errant throws and things like that. I just think the Bears they realize what they are, and they don't really have any star-studded wide receivers. Like, they got a couple guys, Equiamus, St. Brown, they got Darnell Mooney. Like, those guys are pretty solid, but they're not like a true number one, right? So I think they're just trying to run the ball down people's throats and let their defense keep them in the games.
I'll tell you what, was this guy named Khalil Herbert? He had 157 yards, 7.9 a carry for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, where did the Texans D-line go?
Yeah, no.
Like, they could not stop that guy, apparently.
They couldn't at all.
But on the other side of the fence here, you had Damian Pierce with 80 yards, 4 a carry for 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, Nathan dropped that guy after 1 week. I don't know what the hell.
And I picked him up. Yeah, I love that. I think the thing with these teams, Texans need to feed Damian Pierce more. That's probably one of their best playmakers on their offense, right? Which isn't saying much because he's a rookie. We don't know what he's going to be. They got Brandon Cooks, yeah, but their quarterback play is just subpar. I think they need to... They're in the same situation as the Bears. In order for them to potentially win games, they just need to win in the trenches and feed the ball to Damian Pierce. Same thing with the Bears. They need to feed the ball to David Montgomery. And I think that's what the Bears realize they are and they're trying to do. And I think that's what sucks because you can't get an accurate reading if Justin Fields is going to be the guy or not, right? Like, we don't know. It's been 3 weeks. One of the games was a rainy game, and we still don't know what to expect out of Justin Fields. So I really can't make a prediction on what I think he's going to be because just haven't seen enough. I mean, he's throwing the ball fucking 15 times a game. You know what I mean? How are you supposed to know what a guy is?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not as big fan of him, but at the same time, like he's also like I said, I can acknowledge that he's only had limited time to play and make plays, basically.
Yeah.
But we have breaking news here. It says here for Monday practice, Tua Tagovailoa back and ankle did not practice Monday, and Jalen Waddle groin injury did not practice now. So, with them playing this Thursday for Week 4, does not look very positive, I would say.
Yeah, but I think with that being said, I think Mondays are typically like walkthrough days, right? So I think they're just, if they were to practice on Monday, like an actual practice, I think those are just like
I'm just saying, it doesn't look positive, but...
Yeah, no, I think it's...
I still hold the hope that they're probably both going to play, but... With a short week, though, it's just like, damn, like, that's not good.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean?
You definitely want to wait till Tuesday to get an accurate reading on that, in my opinion, but it definitely, early signs does not look good for that.
That pretty much wraps up the Toilet Bowl game there.
Yeah. Moving on to the probably one of the upsets of the week, right? We had a couple.
Definitely not the top upset, but it was definitely up there.
Definitely up there. And
like, the Chiefs only putting up 17 points, like...
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what's funny about this? Like, going into this game, I was sitting there and I was thinking about it, and I was like... looking at both sides, right? The Chiefs always have that 1 or 2 games a year where they lose to somebody they shouldn't, and then we're all overreacting, oh my god, the Chiefs blew it, the Chiefs suck, right? And then they come back and play how they always do. But... I almost, like, before this game started, I was like, I could somehow see the Colts doing a Colts thing and winning this fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, and
it's just the Colts style. Like,
the Colts always
win a game that you shouldn't ever win, and then go on the rest of the year to do absolutely nothing.
The Chiefs didn't look good, man. I think in this game, the Chiefs really missed having a guy like Tyreek Hill. Because Travis Kelce was struggling. He dropped a couple balls. He wasn't playing as, like, lights out as Travis Kelce is. So they were just missing that other guy that they could throw to that takes the top off the defense, essentially. You know what I mean?
I think, probably just like the lack of playmakers, I feel like, you know?
Lack of playmakers, but the Chiefs will figure it out one way or another. Do you see the argument between Patrick Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy on the sideline?
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments. There was one with the Jets coach and the D-line, or Jets player and the D-line coach, I think it was. Like, the Bills, I think it was the Bills offensive coordinator blowing up the press box, like.
Yeah, I don't
know if you saw that.
Oh, I did see that. Hey, dude, when I first saw that video, I thought the guy shattered the glass, but I was like, I was looking at the video wrong, I guess, and he didn't shatter the glass, but like, first glance, I was like, did this motherfucker just throw that and shatter the glass? But no, he didn't. He
was ripping up playbooks. They don't like that playbook anymore, I guess. He's switching playbooks like mad.
With that being said, though, the Colts, in my opinion, yes, I know they beat the Chiefs, but I still think that they look ugly. Like, they don't look good.
I don't see the Colts being competitive this year, unfortunately. I'm not the biggest fan of Matt Ryan right now. Like, I think he's on the tail end of his career. We've been saying that. And I think this team is good, but I think Matt Ryan and their quarterback play for the last couple of years here has now held them back. Like, they went from guys like Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck to now guys like Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. Like, you need that top quarterback play.
Yeah.
Especially playing in the AFC East.
One thing about the Colts team, and this might be more of a fantasy perspective, are we worried about Jonathan Taylor?
I definitely am. This guy doesn't get the ball, apparently. Like,
I know they came out in the beginning of the year and they were like, we're not trying to run Jonathan Taylor as much. We don't want that to be, I guess, our identity, essentially. They wanted to try to spread the ball out more, things like that, right? But if you look at it, like, I'm worried about him because, let me pull this up real quick. And like I said, this might be more of a fantasy standpoint than an actual, like, running back standpoint. But first week, he had 27.5 points. Like, your typical Jonathan Taylor performance, right? Last week against the Jags, he had 7.3 fantasy points. This week, he had 12.1. Like, he's still a solid running back for fantasy, but I'm looking at it right now, early prediction, I don't know if people are going to get their investment back off of a first overall draft pick for fantasy. You know what I mean?
At least not right now. Definitely doesn't seem like it, but I think they just got to give him the ball more. Like, he should be touching the ball minimum like 25 times a game, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I agree. He had the ball. He ran the ball 9 times against the Jags, 21 against KC. That's pretty good, but...
9 times, though, that's not good.
No, that's not good.
He should be doing a lot more. That's pretty much your most dynamic playmaker.
Yep.
Aside from Michael Pittman, he should be getting the ball as much as he can.
No, 100%, I agree. I'm definitely worried about it and something to look at. I'm not saying you fucking bench him or trade him away. I think he's still going to be
Matt Ryan's
great,
passing the ball 40 times almost. Come on.
Yeah, the Colts aren't that team to be doing that. You start doing that, that's when you start losing games.
That's not Matt Ryan fucking 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving on to the Bills and the Dolphins, one of the highlighted games of the week. Dolphins took this 21-19 against the Bills with some late antics. Got a little scary there for a second, I'm not going to lie. I got one thing really to say about this game. And I know there's going to be people out there saying the Bills, right? They're missing 5 guys in the secondary. Their defense is struggling because they're missing their starters on the back end. I'll give you that, okay, right? But at the same time, the Bills' defense doesn't directly... I mean, I know it does affect the offense, but it doesn't directly affect the offense, right? The Bills' offense put up 17 fucking points against the Dolphins. That ain't got nothing to do with the defense. So for all these people trying to say, well, the Bills are missing people on the defense... Okay, well, what happened to their fucking offense? Because the Dolphins shut their offense down. You know what I mean? Josh Allen was struggling. Josh Allen almost threw, there was 2 or 3 times where he had balls that should have been picked. This was an ugly divisional game. I think we all probably expected it to be 33 to fucking 30 or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. But this is how division games wrap up most of the time. Dolphins took out the dub. Dolphins still look good. I'm excited to see what the Dolphins do. I know we've been saying it and preaching it this whole time. And more so, it's me more on an end of supporting Nick because that's his favorite team. Of course, I'm going to hype up my boy's favorite team. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. But looking at it now, I'm starting to become a believer. I'm not going to
lie. Like you said, I think injuries are, at the end of the day, they're just excuses. Teams are always going to have to deal with injuries.
Next man up.
It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing in sports. Someone goes down with an injury, it's it sucks, but that's literally the reality of it is. You play a contact sport, you're going to get injury somewhere.
100%.
At some point, someone's going to go down. Someone of importance is going to go down. You have to try and figure it out. But at the end of the day, like you said, the Bills' offense played the game. Your MVP quarterback played good for the most part, but also had some bad plays at the same time. And they still could have won this game, even without the 5 starters playing or whatever it was.
He missed the throw at the end to lose them the game.
He had a guy open for the touchdown, and he threw the ball in the dirt. The guy can throw the ball 70 yards, but he couldn't make the 5-yard throw. Guess what? They say Tua can make that throw, though, but he can't make it 70 yards, I guess. I don't know. But aside from the trolling, but being real, being honest, I think the Bills are still a good team. There's definitely still probably the Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt, but I really hope that analysts can get over their high horse and just give the Dolphins their flowers. Give them their credit. They put up a good play. People can sit here and say, the injuries helped whatever, but at the same time, Craig, we talked about it before this started. The Bills had the ball for 40 minutes on offense.
Yeah.
We're doing whatever they wanted, driving all the way down the field, but they couldn't score. They could not score. That's the thing. And we talked about this as our number 1 stat for team stats is points per game. That was our first ever topic. We talked about it in the first ever video, I believe it was.
Yeah.
When we did our team rankings.
Yep.
And we said, that was even when we did before we even did the team rankings, that was when we were doing our off-season winners and losers. I was always talking about points per game because all the other stats do not fucking matter.
Yep.
Just like Tua last week, he put up 469 yards, but he also scored 6 TDs. That is how many points? 6 times 7? I'm not good at math. That's 20-something points? There you go. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. You got to put up the points at the end of the day, and he put up 400 yards. Yeah, he looked good at times, but that was like you said. He had 3 almost picks, and they did not score the points at the end of the day. I watched like Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. They're talking about like, oh, like I've never seen a game like this. They basically dominated them. Yeah, they were all over them doing whatever they want, but it's like that mentality: bend but don't break. Even in the Miami Heat, that they were saying was all so bad for the Bills, whatever. The Dolphins were on the field, defensive wise, on the field for 40 minutes of like regular time, and they still held the best offense probably in the league to just 17 points.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, people can say, oh, Tua didn't play great. He only had 100-something yards. But it is a three-way game of sport. Special teams, offense, defense.
Yep.
Offense won them that game against the Ravens with the help a little bit of the defense, obviously, help stopping them in the fourth and third. But the defense won this game. And that's what's going to happen some weeks. You're going to have games where your special teams can maybe win it, games where your offense is going to win it, and games where your defense wins it. That's why it's arguably the hardest team sport in the game, because there's three different ways to win.
And
you know what I mean?
And so many moving parts inside those three different ways. Like, that's
what I'm saying. Like, it takes 53 people to win at the end of the day, and the Bills had every chance in the book to win it. You came down to Miami, you lost it. It is what it is. If you want to complain about the Heat, like, you guys won when it was like 35-0, didn't complain at all.
Yeah.
Nobody complains when you have to play in Buffalo in the snow. Like, it is what it is. It's just the sport. That's how it is.
I think this is a really good team W for the Dolphins. Like, in all three phases, they did what they needed to do to get the dub. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, if you want to break it down, you can and say certain things. But at the end of the day, the Dolphins played better today than the Bills did.
I was going to say, I think Tua has really shown me, for this year personally, that he can be the guy. Like, I really see a lot of improvement in him.
He's shown a lot of growth.
His deep ball looks great. His throws look a lot better. Sure, sometimes, like, he had that one that could have been a pick six. Maybe that's a miscommunication. That happens, whatever. But at the end of the day, he's showing me consistently that he is performing the way that he should be performing. And in my honest opinion, I'm a little bit worried about the Bills in the sense that Josh Allen, I've talked about it before with you. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I know I talked about it before with you. That Josh Allen is essentially the Bills' offense. And if he somehow, some way, don't want to see it happen, but if he gets hurt, this team is done, in my opinion. He is literally the running back, the quarterback, and it's at the point where it's like he's running so much and doing so much that, like, he's either going to be exhausted by the time the game's over, or he's going to be hurt by the time the Super Bowl comes or the playoffs come, because, like, we're only on week 3, going into week 4 now, and his hand's already banged up, and, like, he looked literally dead out there. Like, he was so tired in the fourth quarter because of the heat and because of how much he's doing out there. You know what I mean?
It looks like everything goes through Allen on this offense, and when you start doing that,
I would really like. Can I say real quick? I just really like to see them get that ball to Singletary or to Cook and just get that run game going a little bit. Like, at least help the guy out a little bit. You know what I mean?
And I think that's always been the thing with the Bills in the recent last 3 years, right?
It kind of reminds me of the Pats, like how they don't really have that balancedness.
Yeah, we've always said with the Bills, as far as like the last 3 years go, like if they could ever get that run game going and like be more of a balanced attack, they could be scary. Because if they're scary right now and you know pass is coming 75% of the time, like imagine it goes from 50-50, like, and you're having to guess every fucking play, fuck, are they going to run the ball or are they going to pass the ball? You know what I mean? Like, you start getting that in the back of defensive players' minds, and that's when you start opening things up and doing things with ease.
Because like, you also have the play action too. Like, that's another thing you can add to the game. Like, I would just, like I said, I'd really like to see them be able to establish that run game a bit more.
I agree.
Like, I have nothing against Allen, but I think him just being literally the focal point of the offense is going to get them bit somewhere. Like,
and they would just be a better team too if they started to run the ball more. Like, you would think they would want to be the best that they can be. And right now, I think they're hitting that ceiling a bit, but they're not completely there. And I think the only thing that's going to get them there is, like you said, to start running the ball.
Like, just pulling up the stats real quick. He had 63 throws, and he ran 8 times for 47 yards.
He threw the ball 63 times?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I'm sorry, but I think if you're throwing the ball over 50 times, you're not going to win the game. Unless it's one of those games to where, like,
consistently.
Consistently. Not consistently. You're going to win one every now and again, maybe at the last drive, like, because it's a shootout, it's 45-40 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but when it's 21-19 final score and you threw the ball 63 times, you're not winning the fucking game. I'm sorry. I just don't see it likely at all. That is outrageous.
Oh yeah, that's like I said. Like I would just like to see that balancedness a little bit more for them. But they still look like a good team, honestly.
I will say last thing about them. It looks like they're gonna have a rematch week 15, and that could come down to some playoff seeding. I know it's early to be talking about playoffs, but if everybody's on the right track that they are now, which it's looking like it, that could come down to a division winner, a playoff seeding. You know what I mean? So that's just keep that in the back of your mind that week 15 could be a very important game for the Bills and the Dolphins.
I was just gonna say real quick for the Dolphins, like I believe after like this week, because you play the Bengals on Thursday that so next week, so the next quarterbacks for the Dolphins after Joe Burrow will be either Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Kirk Cousins, Mitchell Trubisky, maybe Kenny Pickett if they play him, Jared Goff, Justin Fields, Jacoby Brissett, David Mills, Jimmy Garoppolo before they start playing again the hard teams in December.
Yeah,
this was what I was telling my dad. The first 4 weeks are a gauntlet.
Yeah.
You had to play the Pats. You had to play the Bills. You had to play the Ravens. Now you have to play the Bengals. After that, it significantly gets so much easier, or it should get easier, that these are the games that they need to start just racking up dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe you lose one here or there, but like you got to just win more than you're losing because this is the easy part of your schedule that they could really like separate themselves in the division and in this conference as a whole. You know what I mean?
I will say, looking at it, if they can somehow squeak out a win against, and I'm not saying they're not good enough to beat the Bengals or whatever, I'm just saying if they can squeak out a win against the Bengals on Thursday night, I could potentially see this team, Nick, going 9-0, 10-0, maybe 11-0. You know what I mean? Like it's not unlikely because, like you said, they play the Bengals. If they squeak that out, then they got the Jets, the Vikings, the Steelers. Lions could be a good game with the way the Lions are playing. Should win against the Bears. Have a close game against the Browns, maybe. And then the Texans. Like, I could potentially see this team going 12-0. Like, I would not be surprised one bit. And I did not realize that their schedule gets somewhat easy. Like, I know it's the NFL, anybody can win games, but if you're looking at it, the schedule gets somewhat easy for these next 7 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's as well something to be excited for as a Dolphins fan because you gotta, like you said, you already went through the gauntlet. You're almost done with the gauntlet. Now you got some easy weeks ahead. So, like I said, the Dolphins could
it's
be
just like I said, it should just be put you in a good position for the playoffs. Hopefully, if you guys stay on the right track. Hopefully.
Yep.
But moving on to this next one here, the Lions and the Vikings. Justin Jefferson has gone missing. I don't know where he's gone.
I was about to say, I had my two people specifically I wanted to talk about, and it was Jonathan Taylor and Justin Jefferson because boy, oh boy.
Put him on the missing carton signs, like the milk cartons, like he is gone.
We look like dummies right now, bro.
Like,
I know it's week 3, but what? These last 2 weeks, man.
He just, I don't know. I have him in Yahoo where I drafted him 2nd overall. I got absolutely smoked in that league. I don't even know if I want to talk about it. Bro. He's projected to get 136. I'm at 78 points.
Yeah.
Just, man, I don't know.
He
put up 2.9 points.
Yeah, week 2 he had 48 yards. Week 3 he had 14 yards. That is what? 40, 58, 62 yards in 2 weeks?
Yeah,
that's not even half of what he had in the first week. Yeah, the guy is missing at this point.
He just got locked up, completely shut down. I didn't really watch this game, so I'm assuming it's probably like Jeff Oduka.
Yeah, I think I saw the stats.
He might have locked him up, but man, like that's just like wow. Yeah, I did not expect that
at all.
Yeah. At all. And now that Dalvin Cook might be missing time, like it's going to be really hard for this team if he can't get going again.
I will say though they have arguably one of the best backup running backs in the NFL. So I don't know if they'll miss too much in that sense. Because Alexander Madison, every time Dalvin Cook's been out and Madison steps in, he does damn near exactly what Dalvin Cook does. He's not as flashy as Dalvin Cook. but he does what needs to be done. You know what I mean? Like, there's been multiple times when Cook's been out and he's rushed for 100 yards, had a touchdown or two, like catches the ball like Dalvin does. So I think they're still in an okay situation in that sense, but I think it's also going to put some more eyes on Justin Jefferson in that sense if Dalvin Cook's out.
Yeah. I'm just a little shocked. It's like, how can he, like, 14 yards? Like, that's all he got?
Yeah, like I said, I haven't watched. I watch Red Zone, and I didn't see every single play of this.
Yeah.
But, and I need to go back and watch and see what happened. I know he only had 6 targets, which isn't bad, isn't good, but like 3 for 6 with 14 yards. Like, what are you catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage every time, and then you had 120-yard catch? Like, what happened? But I will say, I know we've said that the Vikings were one of our like picks, teams we're excited about or whatever. Like, they're still
2-1, so they're still looking not bad.
I think they can.
And they're playing a weaker conference, like.
Yeah, they can figure it out. Looks like they're finding a way to win this year. I know last year a lot of their close games they had, they didn't win them. This was a very close game, came down to the wire. They figured out a way to win it, so that's always a good sign. But yeah, something's got to give with the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if it's Kirk Cousins. I don't know what it is. I don't know if
Kirk Cousins definitely the week before.
Yeah, the week before
he
was
very good.
Yeah,
so
he didn't.
I'm not sure if he kept playing like that this game or what, but
yeah,
definitely got to figure it out.
With that being said, back to what we've said before, the Lions are looking sneakily like nice. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna win 10 games, but they're looking pretty good. They're being competitive.
Yeah, and I've been on record saying I don't like Dan Campbell, but he's proven me wrong. So
yeah, he's firing them guys up. But the Vikings need to figure it out because that.
I will say though, with Dan Campbell, just don't buy too much into the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
It could be good for a gimmicky coach for 1 year, but after that, if you start losing or if they start falling off, then like that's when stuff starts to hit the fan, and that's what makes the great coaches great and the bad ones bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, we haven't seen Dan Campbell in that situation yet.
And like I said, it's only week 3, so it's like you can't be overreacting or underacting, whatever. Like you got to take it with a little bit of grain of salt.
Yeah.
I think coming up to this week 4, is where you're gonna really start seeing these teams separate each other.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't figured out by week 4, you ain't figuring it out then almost. You pretty much guaranteed that.
Yeah, 100%.
But
next we
got anything else to say?
Nah, that's it. I just gotta say the Lions look pretty good. Justin Jefferson needs to figure it out because. My whole fantasy team needs to figure it out because in my main league that I can win $1,000 if I win the league, my team put up 62 points. 62, and 30 of it came from Jalen Hurts. So something's got to give. You know what I mean? Like, the boys are struggling. Jefferson needs to figure it out. Tyreek Hill needs to get the ball more. Like, whatever. You know what I mean? The guys need to figure it out. But with that being said, it happens. I know you're not going to put up 30 points a game every time. I get it. But moving on to the Ravens and at the Patriots, this went about how I expected it. I will say I didn't expect the Patriots to put up 26 points. I expected them to put up like 17. But all
I'm going to say is, real quick, is that price tag for Lamar has gone up.
Dude, it's going to... Nick... Did I or did I might not have said this. I might have been thinking it. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I said that being a contract year, Lamar's going to come out and absolutely ball and show people that he needs to be paid. MVP, do it all, make the playoffs. Like, and right now, Lamar, I mean, they're essentially like 1 quarter away from being 3-0, right? If they didn't have that shit ending against the Miami Dolphins on defense, they're 3-0. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm not taking credit away from the Dolphins. I'm just saying the Ravens fucking sucked on defense in that 3rd and 4th quarter. But Lamar Jackson's balling. I picked him as an MVP candidate. I think he is probably leading the race in the MVP candidate right now. I think there's a couple guys that can give him a run for his money at the moment, but Lamar's just looking
I don't even think anyone can give him a run for his money right now. The last 2 weeks, he's basically been the running back, quarterback. Like, he's done it all.
Yeah, no, 100%.
He put up, like, what was it, 5 touchdowns last week, I think it was, total.
Another 5 this week, total.
Yeah, like, he's just been that guy right now. He is So he put up 4 touchdowns, last week against the Dolphins with 3 touchdowns passing, 1 touchdown running. And then this week he put I just lost it. He put 5 touchdowns in total this week. He had 4 throwing and 1 running this time.
Yeah.
Like, he is on a mission this year.
I saw this video, Nick. Right now he is on pace for 5,600 passing yards and 68 passing touchdowns, which is like that's like record breaking essentially, and it's even better than when he won the MVP before. That's way better stats. Like, yeah,
that's fucking insane.
The guy's balling,
but I gotta give him props. He's playing really well, but I don't know. I'm a little bit curious to see what happens with the Patriots because it does not look good with the Mac Jones injury. So I'm not sure if he's going to be playing next week or if he's going to miss some time.
I heard there's no way he plays next week.
No way? Like,
I would not think because with the reaction we had with Mac Jones when he got injured. Plus, it's a high ankle sprain. Those are always weird to begin with and normally linger. So, most of the time when somebody gets a high ankle sprain, they at least take 1 week off. I could see him missing multiple weeks, maybe.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then that's not good. Hopefully, he gets healthy and feels better, but it sucks. But essentially, this is kind of like we basically said this is how the Patriots season was going to go. Like, we didn't really believe in them. I think their defense is terrible. I think their offense is mediocre at best. Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick, but it's like at the same time.
I don't know if it's his fault, but yeah, like.
I mean, who's like Bill's fault?
I don't think it's necessarily all on Bill.
Oh, it's all on Bill. You're the GM, you're the coach. You got to put this fucking team together. Like, he signed all these guys, so it's like it's 100% his fault. They had that. Remember, they spent all that money on offense.
Yeah.
Just to get 2 tight ends, basically, and a couple mediocre wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's true.
They're spending money, and then they're spending money efficiently, Craig.
Yeah, and he's not.
You look at how the Dolphins put their money. They bought Tyreek Hill. They bought Terran Armstead. They got Connor Williams. Like, they spent a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
But look at the results. They're now 3-0.
Yeah.
You can see Tyreek Hill is paying dividends by opening up lanes for Chase Edmonds. He's opening up lanes for Waddle. Mike Gesicki, like, that's spending money efficiently. Whereas you got Nelson Aguilar, Brandon, Kendrick Bourne, or whatever his name is.
Bourne,
like,
yeah.
You guys spent all this, and then Jono Smith from the Titans, and then what was it, Hunter Henry? Like, you spent all that money, and that's what you've got. Like, I would 100% put the blame on Bill because he's the GM and he's the coach. So it's like you gotta put better talent on the field at the end of the day.
I'm still just in that, like, I think they just drafted the wrong quarterback too. I don't think Mac Jones is the guy. Like,
I don't think so either. I think Mac Jones, like I said, I've always said, if you think Mac Jones is a franchise quarterback, then Tua is a franchise quarterback because Mac Jones is, in my opinion, a little bit worse than Tua. He's just very average.
Worse than Tua. I think he's
right
trash.
As of right now, it looks like that's the case.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, of all the 3 Alabama ones, it's not even in my opinion, like, it's facts now. Like, out of all the Alabama quarterbacks, the last 3, like, you got the worst one. Like,
100%.
And not only that, it's just like they had opportunities to get better players, but I really don't think Bill is that guy. Like, I don't think he should be playing GM anymore. Like, it's starting to look like to me that it's proven that he's not a scout. He's not going to build the fucking great team. I think a lot of people are just used to Bill and give him that credit because he's had the history. They're just used to the fact that he's went out there, he's like won how many Super Bowls, and like they're used to this Tom Brady taking over the offense and just basically running the offense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think another thing too is that Josh McDaniels isn't there either. That was another thing too that I was really concerned about, was that you're now losing your entire offensive system. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, he's had that same system for how many years, even with Tom Brady there. And that's like the big thing to me, is that you lost that, basically the whole offense now.
Yeah.
Like, you lost the guy that was orchestrating it, and now you lost the guy that was basically planned it all.
Yep.
Back-to-back off seasons, basically. So it's like, that's not good.
Yeah, the Patriots are not looking good at this point, which we expected. Moving on to the Bengals and the Jets. I'm not going to completely go all in and say that the Bengals are back like everybody else is saying. They looked better.
I think this is expected. Like,
this
at
is
the end of the day, it's
yes.
the fucking Jets.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I can't get hyped over this.
Yeah.
Like, you beat them 27-12. It's not like you smoked them 40-12. Like, it was still somewhat competitive. Like,
I want to see how they come out against the Dolphins. That'll be my ticket, my showing of, okay, if the Bengals are back or not. You know what I mean? Like, right now, I think they're teetering. Yeah, they look okay, but again, like you said, it's expected. It's the fucking Jets. Like, no offense to the Jets, they've had moments where they look better. I think Flacco became Joe Flacco again this week, which is probably going to make it easier to bring Wilson back.
Jesus Christ. You're talking about throwing the ball 50 times. He threw it 52.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what is going on with the NFL and these old quarterbacks getting just, like, arms worn out?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, you want to fucking play? Well, go fucking play then. Here's 50 fucking throws.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting my money's worth out of you, you old bastard. Like, Jesus.
I think I'm hearing that Zach Wilson's on the right track to come back week 4, so this week. Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to look any better, any worse.
If Zach Wilson's back, then I will be keeping my eyes on the Jets because I am super curious if he can go from arguably the worst starting quarterback last year to being somewhat decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were the second overall pick. There is a ton of pressure on that kid to do something because.
And you have weapons on the offense. You are not lacking weapons at all.
Yeah, you got the running back Michael Carter. You got
Breece Hall,
Garrett Wilson, like. Burrows, what is that? What is his name? Burrows. Oh my God, Braxton Burrows. That's his
Braxton
name.
Berrios.
Berrios, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you got Corey Davis. You got Elijah Moore. Like you got weapons.
Even Uzma, the tight end.
C.J. Uzama, yeah, from the Bengals.
Tyler Conklin, isn't that him too? Yeah.
Yeah, he's on there. But yeah, I'm not all in on the Bengals being back yet. I'll give it next week, the week after, whatever. But I think they're on the right track to be back. And I think I saw something, too, that kind of made sense. Bro didn't play in the preseason. Bro had a surgery. I don't remember exactly what it was on. I want to say it was like a hernia or something. I could be wrong. I think he's just now getting back into the rhythm. He was definitely holding the ball too long in the first 2 games. I think he only got sacked twice this game, so that's kind of looking up in the right direction. I think they're getting there, but they still kind of don't look like the Bengals of last year. But
Are you worried about Joe Mixon?
And you're talking about like his ankle injury, or just worried about altogether?
I'm talking about like in fantasy wise, like everything.
I do have a couple shares of Joe Mixon. I think he's a really good running back. I just think the Bengals are in a weird spot right now. Like, I don't know if they can't find their identity. I don't know what's exactly going on with them.
Like they gave him the ball 12 times. He only had 24 yards for 2 carries, whereas Perrion, I don't know what his first
Well, I think he left the game at halftime or something like that. Samaje Perine, yeah.
Perine. He ran it 9 times for 47 yards for 5.2 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think Mixon's dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. Like I said, I think he left that game. I'm not for sure. So I don't know if that had an impact on how he was running the ball. Mm-hmm. Am I a little worried about him? Yeah, it's in my mind. But I think if the Bengals figure out how to be the Bengals again, I think he'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to get too hyped on this win because, like we talked about, like, it's the Jets. If they come out and they start being consistent, then it's like, okay, they're bad, but it's 1 win. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like
1 win against arguably one of the lower teams in the
Yeah, like I'm not gonna go, wow, like Bengals look great, Joe Burrow's back. Like it's 1 week, we'll see what happens this Thursday they play. So we'll see what happens then, and if they look better there, then you can start saying, okay, like maybe they're pulling it back together.
Yeah.
But moving on here to the Raiders, I think the Raiders, honestly, like I said it before, I think they're better than their record. Like they've lost some close games, but man, like what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
Look, here's my thing with the Raiders. First week,
like, hold on. First week you lost 24-19. That's a super close game.
Who'd they play again?
The Chargers week 1.
Yeah, and they blew the lead.
Week 2, you lost to the Cardinals 29-23 in overtime. You blew the lead again.
You scored 23 points in the first half, didn't score again. Carry on.
Yeah, they blew the lead that one. 24-22. Like, I think they're better than their record, but it's like, man, like, you guys are just choking right now. Like, what is going on?
I don't know if you can look at this game so much and put that in the category of, like, better than their record, because Titans were up, like, it was like 24-10, I think. And I think the Raiders got a couple garbage time touchdowns. So that's why this game was so close.
I don't think you really say it's garbage time touchdowns. Like 24-22.
Well, no, they were trying to come back.
It was competitive.
Yeah, no, not necessarily garbage time, but like towards the end, they were trying to make a comeback. They got some touchdowns. Typically, when a team has a 14-point lead, they're playing a little bit safer. But yeah, no, I think their roster is better than their record.
It's just like, man, like
something's not coming together.
Like, you can maybe cancel this game out, but it's like the first 2 games, like, they should have won.
Oh, they choked those 2 games easily.
Like, you blew the lead with the Cardinals, for sure. And I believe I remember watching the Chargers one, too. I think they also blew the lead, too, right?
They did, yeah.
So it's like, you guys should be at least 2-1, could be maybe 3-0. But it's like, wow, like, man, 0-3. The only 0-3 team in the league right now.
Yep.
It's like, that is just like, fuck, like, I really, like I said, I was really believing in them. Like, I had them as one of my favorite teams in the winners of the off season. Like, it's just like, it hurts. Bless you.
Thank you.
It hurts, like, just like looking at this and like watching the highlights. And I'm just like, man, like, you guys are like in the games almost, but it's like you guys are just losing them. Like,
yeah,
what is going on?
And it's like I said earlier, when you have those close games and you can't figure out ways to win them, that's normally a bad sign, right? Same thing when I talk about with the Vikings. Like, they're having these close games.
Good teams find ways to win, man. Like,
yeah, granted,
you gotta win.
2 of their 3 games, it was their fault that they were even close games, but at the end of the day, they're close games and they're just not figuring out how to win them. Like, I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's Derek Carr struggling. Like, they're definitely better than their record, but at the same time, like, it's just ugly. Like, they're not looking good.
I just can't believe they blew the 2 games. That's just insane.
The Titans, I will say, on the other side of the ball, Titans looked a little bit more like the Titans. Again, I'm not saying they're fucking last year's Titans. Like, they looked better. You know what I mean? They still got smoked by the Bills. They still lost to the Giants. Like, they're looking better. I think they're taking steps in the right direction. Henry was running the ball a little bit better. I know a lot of people are worried about Derrick Henry. I'm not too worried about Derrick Henry. We've seen it before, time after time. He gets better as the season progresses. Keep feeding him the ball. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Moving on to the Eagles at the Commanders. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. I need to. I'm not necessarily talking about the game. I just need to say the Eagles are looking great in all 3 phases of the ball. Jalen Hurts is taking the steps I wanted Jalen Hurts to take this year, and I'm so freaking excited to see how this year turns out for them because they are looking nice.
Like, just looking at it right here, Jalen Hurts had 350 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Devontae Smith had 12 targets, 8 catches, 169 yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Brown, 10 targets, 5 receptions, 85 yards. Like, they were just doing whatever they wanted. Even on the ground, Miles Sanders had 15 attempts, 46 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts had 9 attempts for 20 rushing yards. Like, I think I remember seeing at one point, like, the Commanders had negative passing yards, I believe.
Yeah.
Going into halftime, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah. They were struggling.
Like, they were just dominating.
I think one of the unsung heroes of this Eagles team is their defense right now. Like, there's a lot of flashiness with the Eagles offense. They're playing great. They're airing the ball out. They're running the ball. They're doing everything. But the Eagles held the Commanders, who were on a pretty hot streak, some would say, right? Like, as far as, like, scoring points. They held them to 8 points. 2 of that came from a safety. So they held them to 6 points, essentially, the defense did. They held the Vikings to, 7 points. They the first week they held the who did they play the first week? Oh, the Lions.
That was a score fest.
That was a score fest. Yeah, they gave up 35 points to the Lions. I will say that. But as far as the last 2 week goes, the unsung heroes of the Eagles, I think, is their defense. And we talked about Lamar and anybody giving him a run for the MVP. I'm not saying by any means that Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate or that he's putting up the numbers. He's definitely going to be up there. No, that's what I'm saying. Like I think he's an MVP candidate, but I don't think that he's not putting up numbers like Lamar, right? Yes, they're 3-0. They're still winning. That's got to be taken into consideration. But I think as the season progresses and Lamar, if he does maybe fall off slightly, Jalen Hurts can kind of even it out, and they could essentially both be in that talk for MVP in my opinion. I know I'm biased a little bit. I know it's still only week 3, but I think if there's anybody that could potentially give him a run for his money looking at it right now, it's Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen.
Completely agree. I don't think there's much to talk about.
No,
they literally just took over the game, and that was it. Yeah. Again, like the next game here, the Chargers-Jaguars. No one expected this. Like, again, there's not much to talk about. Like, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, they did not look good at fucking all.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawerence, I will give him some props. Not as big a supporter, but he definitely showed me today.
I think the Jags were one of my sleeper teams. Like, as far as, winning the offseason. Like...
Yeah. I was going to say, like, he showed me that he does have what it takes to potentially be a franchise quarterback if he can continue on the trajectory that he's on. I don't know how you say that word.
Trajectory? Yeah, it's kind of a tough one.
But if he just continues on that same path, that he can definitely be one of these quarterbacks at the end of the year that you're like, okay, like, I can see a team building around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're on the right path, and they're looking very good to start the season right now. They could potentially be 3-0. They almost beat the Commanders. Like, they lost a close game to the Commanders week 1. And
yeah, I just think like they look good. Like, James Robinson was running the ball good. Their defense obviously played great. You only fucking let them score 10 points. Like, that to me in itself is a W for the Jaguars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Jaguars, the way the Titans and the Colts are playing right now, the Jaguars, I think we said it last week. I know we were kind of trolling with the out on the Colts and the Titans. Like, I'm still in that stance right now. But the Jags have a good chance to win this division and surprise a lot of people.
I'm probably out on the Chargers, honestly. Like, I'm out on that whole division.
I don't want nothing to do with that division at this point. I know we talked about it and hyped it up so much.
I'm out on the division. I'm wrong. NFL's right. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, that division's ass. I'm out of it.
Yeah.
I'm putting my hands up in the air. I'm out.
We're waving the white flag on the AFC West at this point.
Like, I give up. It's worse than I thought it was.
We're so wrong on that, I guess. I know it's still early, but they just all
it's
3 of the 4 teams just look rough. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I think the only team that looks competitive every week is the Chiefs. Like, I think the Broncos, with the way they're playing, I don't know how they're going to figure it out. Like, Russell Wilson looks lost. Justin Herbert, as much as the hype this guy gets, they cannot find ways to win with him as quarterback. Like, at the end of the day, like I say, at the end of the day, like, it's all about the points. Like, you can throw as many yards as you want, but if you're not scoring touchdowns, you're not winning games. Like, what's that matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Like, the guy has a rocket arm. He does everything right, whatever, but he throws pick six. They lose that game last week. This week, they absolutely get fucking slaughtered, smoked by a team that everyone doesn't really think, or that's not really high on as a team that is the Jags, right? Everyone believes in them. Not everyone is hype on them. And they get absolutely just rolled over, like 38-10, like you did nothing. Yeah. And it's like, you can sit here and say, like, oh, like, their team's a little bit hurt, but it's like, he still has Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. What's their tight end name? Garrett Everett. Like, he's pretty decent. They have pieces there, and they're just not looking competitive.
Mike Williams had, I think, 1 catch for 15 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, like, I don't know. If I'm a Chargers fan, I don't know, like, what to think.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion.
I think
as good as Herbert is, like, is he gonna win you games? Like, you know what I mean? Because you got to find ways to win.
And I know we spoke on this earlier about the injuries and it's next man up and it's not just one player. But I will say that I think we can get a more accurate reading once Keenan Allen comes back. Maybe one more week removed from Herbert hurting his ribs. Like, I'm not completely out on the Chargers like you are right now. I'll give them a couple more weeks, but I'm out on the other two. Like, I think it's Chiefs and Chargers at this point. I'm going to give the Chargers a couple more weeks, but this didn't look good at all. Like, the Jags beat you in all phases. You know what I mean? Which is a team that, like you said, nobody was high on. Nobody expected this. Like, yeah.
I just think, like, he's always getting hype, like, and it's well deserved. Like, the guy makes amazing plays. The guy makes good throws. Like,
yeah, but you got to figure out how to win.
But you got to win football games at the end of the day. I'm so tired of people hyping up, like, oh, he's so good, he's so good. He can't even win. Like, you got to win at some point in your career. You got to find ways to win.
Yep, I agree.
Otherwise, what are you gonna get paid for?
Talking about a quarterback that figures out a way to win. Matt Stafford, they pulled out another one against the Cardinals. I think I don't think there was a touchdown scored in this game. There might have been one. I don't know. But Sean McVay came out and he was like, yeah, this was an ugly game. Wasn't very glamorous, but it's the NFL. We figured out a way to win.
There wasn't a touchdown score for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Cooper Kupp had a touchdown and Cam Akers had a touchdown.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what it was. It was for the Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals, again, I've said it before, I think their offense just looks ugly without D-Hop. Like, I don't know what it is. I think D-Hop just puts their offense over the top. Like, every time D-Hop's on the field...
It's actually funny you said that because Janine asked me about, like, what was wrong with the Cardinals in my opinion, or something like that. And I said, in my honest opinion, I'll give you a free analyst take here. I said it's gonna be super mind blowing, but I think he just misses D-Hop.
You laugh about it, but it's true.
It's the truth. Like, missing a top 5, top 10 wide receiver is huge. Like,
and D-Hop is just nasty on so many regards. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Kyler Murray misses that. Not to mention they
lost Christian Kirk in the offseason. Yeah. Like, he doesn't even have that that familiarity with another guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know he's got
background. They traded for Marquise Brown, but it's like, that's really it.
He's got background with Marquise Brown from college. Like, they have connection. I think Marquise Brown has like 23 or 28 targets the last 2 weeks. Like, he's getting the ball, and I think they're getting more comfortable. But I'm willing to bet, like, the Cardinals go on a hot streak once D-Hop comes back after week 6. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. The Rams, again, in my opinion, they figured out another way to win. Last week, they barely beat the Falcons. This week, they won by 8 points against the Cardinals division matchup. And they're still not looking the greatest. Like, they're struggling a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. They can't run the ball. If they can't run the ball, or if it's Matthew Stafford just with the elbow, like, I'm not totally sold on them like I am the Bengals. The same situation, in my opinion. Like, they have a better record than the Bengals. They've looked a little bit better than the Bengals. But I still think, like, I need a couple more weeks before I say, okay, the Rams are the Rams again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I just think, like, I don't know. It's like, in my opinion, when you win, like, I think the hardest thing in sports in general, like, after playing it for so many years, like, I played competitive hockey. I can't speak right now. I played hockey competitively for years. And, like, when you win a championship, it's so hard to get motivated and locked back in to come back the next year and want to do it all over again.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it is, like, I've only played, like, when I was a kid, like, up to, like, 16, 17, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, these guys are, like, 30, 25, like, all in that range. And it's, like, at some point, I feel like you just get demotivated, like. That's why it's, in my opinion, like, it's one of the craziest things to see Tom Brady at, what is he, like, 46 now, 45, still playing football and still wanting to play. Because how do you do something for that long at the highest level, like being a 1% at something and just wanting to keep doing it, keep going for that grind of practicing every day, getting better every day, training every day, like. I'm not saying that's an excuse or whatever, but, like, I just think they won the championship. It's like, are they as locked in as they were before? Like, who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why they call it that Super Bowl hangover, right?
Yeah, like it's hard to want to do it all over again. Like it's a process.
Yeah, I
think too, like they're missing Von Miller. Like Von Miller looks fucking nasty on the Bills defense.
Good on the Bills,
and that was a really nice tag team duo to see for the Rams. Like you had Aaron Donald, and then you had Von Miller rushing the passer, and that's really underrated in my opinion. Like I always think too, like the way to win is by quarterback play and by your D line. D line, in my opinion, is like the most important thing because you can attack the quarterback and you can make them make those bad throws. You can force those interceptions. Like
especially with as many good quarterbacks we have in the NFL nowadays, D line.
Like you need to have a good pass rush, and I don't know. I'm not big on them. Like you said, I don't see the hype in them right now. I can't buy into it. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna repeat. I think it's gonna be too hard.
And like you said, Von Miller brought him like over the top. They didn't get Von Miller till like right before the trade deadline or something last year. And if I recall, last year before they got Von Miller, like none of us were really like calling them a Super Bowl favorite, were we? Like we thought they were good last year. Don't get me wrong. Cooper Kupp was fucking
that's when also Cooper Kupp went off too, right? So
yeah. And Cooper Kupp's still doing Cooper Kupp things, but like
like before last year, nobody really knew who the fuck Cooper Kupp was.
Yeah, they did.
Like he had a decent. I don't know. I looked at his stats. He had maybe 1,000 yards, like just over 1,000 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
But then like last year, like really put him on the fucking map, like being like the Triple Crown winner of like for wide receiver, basically. Like that really was like wow, like who the fuck is this guy? Like, because I've never even heard of him until last year.
Yeah, I knew who he was, but I didn't ever think of him as a top 5 wide receiver. And
and now you're looking at him like he's arguably a top 3 wide receiver now, right?
So I don't quite put him up there. I'm not getting into that, but carry on.
I mean, if he keeps playing the way he is, and it's like at some point, like, you know what I mean? Like you got to start looking at it. Like I personally put him top 5, but if he continues to have another decent season, then you got to look at him as a top 3 almost at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't put him in my top 5 yet, just because he's only done it once. Like I'm not discrediting he triple crowned. Like that was fucking amazing. Like one of the best wide receiver seasons we've ever seen. But I'm all about, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again: consistency. You need to be able to do it multiple times for me to be able to put you into that upper echelon. But I do.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree, but I can definitely see like I said, I can see him being a top 5.
I hear you.
But moving on here to the Falcons Seahawks, Drake London is like really selling himself as now the rookie of the year for offensive rookie of the year, I should say.
Yeah, I think
he had another really good game.
Yeah, I think there's one that might be creeping up just based off the last 2 weeks. I think Chris Olave is trying to make a push for that. He's starting to open it up as well. But I think as far as 3 weeks in, like Drake London's been killing it. He's definitely looking like the best rookie wide receiver at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I drafted him. He looks fucking great. Like, I'm gonna pull up his stats right here. I think he had like 100 yards receiving. Okay, sorry. He had 54 receiving yards and a TD, and then I believe last week he had
he had like as well. A really good game last week. Yeah.
Yeah, playing against the Rams, he had 86 yards and 1 touchdown. So it's like he's putting together, and that's against the Seahawks and then against the Rams. It was the week before. So I don't know. It's like he's looking pretty decent. This game in general too is kind of a boring one. Like I watched it a little bit.
The afternoon games were snooze fest in my opinion. Like all.
Yeah, like it was just like it was tough quarterback to watch for some of these ones. Like fuck me, like Geno Smith and like Marcus Mariota, like they were trying to do stuff, and I was like, man, like holy, like. Just some rough plays out there.
Yeah, because if you look at the afternoon games, like the Jaguars were smoking the Chargers. That got boring to watch. The Rams and the Cardinals were just like back and forth, kind of a couple touchdowns on the Rams, like snooze fest. Falcons, yeah, they kind of scored a lot, but like just nothing super exciting happening. And then 12-14 for the Bucks-Packers, like low scoring game. Like the afternoon games were just kind of a snooze fest for me.
I will say though, like I don't know, like Geno Smith, like he had some weird, like he has like plays where it's like he can't make like the throw, and then like other times he looks like really good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like even watching him last year when he took over for Russell Wilson, I'm like, this guy's running the ball. He's like a knockoff Lamar, and then like he throws the ball, and I'm like, okay, never mind. Like,
yeah,
he had a pretty good game this game though. Like he had 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like Tyler Lockett went off for 76 yards. DK Metcalf had a touchdown to 64 yards. Like that's why I say like the Seahawks honestly aren't a bad team. Like they got players there. It's just I don't know if the coaching's there, and I don't know about their defense.
They need a new quarterback. They need pieces on the defense, and they need a new coach. I think those are the 3 things that they're missing to be able to put them back into the conversation of playoffs. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I think like Geno Smith can probably get it done, but like you said, he has these moments where he does this and it looks good, and then he has moments where he does this and it's like, what the fuck are you doing starting in the NFL? Like, it just. But yeah, I mean, I think the Seahawks have pieces. They could be a good team. They're just missing a couple other pieces. The Falcons, kind of the same
about the
situation.
afternoon games. I'm looking at the next one here.
Yeah,
like,
next one's yeah. The Falcons have a couple pieces as well. They're kind of up in the right direction, but at the end of the day...
Can we talk about the fact that Cordell Patterson has become like an elite running back at like 30 years old now?
I'm the biggest Cordell... Dude, I had a chance at Cordell Patterson last year on the waiver wire before, like, when he popped off. Like, I had, like, first pick that week, and I didn't pick him up. And then he ended up doing good the whole year, and I was like, fucking A, dude, I'm stupid. And then this whole time in the draft, I drafted 8 leagues. I didn't pick him up in a single one because I avoided him at all costs. And he's somehow doing it again, and I'm like, dude, whatever. Like, I give up.
It's just insane, like, the fact that he's, like, 30 years old now.
Yeah.
He's been around all these different teams. Like, I remember him being, like, a kick returner back in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Then he was on the Patriots. Now it's, like, he's, like, 30 years old or whatever, and it's, like, he's found, like, his, like, spot. Being, like, a running back, wide receiver gimmick type player.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is like, they're using him for what he is. He's kind of this utility tool kind of player. And I think all these other teams were trying to either put him in as a wide receiver or running back only. You know what I mean? Like, they never wanted to, I wouldn't say build an offense around him, but make some plays for him. You know what I mean? And I think the Falcons, they were just lacking so much in that area that they saw this guy and they were like, well, fuck, we can use him and do this, and we can use him and do that. So that's why I think he's gotten this, like, second wind of his career doing this. You know what I mean? So it's definitely cool to see. I was a hater on him last year. I didn't think that it would sustain, and here it is again. It's looking like they're using him that way. But I will say, with that being said, the backup running back is starting to get more snaps and shares of the ball, the rookie Tyler Algier. So I don't know if it sustains, and maybe I'm just being a hater still, but we'll see what happens. But it is cool to see for Cordell Patterson, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like, it's wild. Like, that guy's been, like I said, he's been all over the NFL, and it's like you just finally, like, figured out how to play football, I guess.
Yeah. That's like, funny. Moving on.
I remember last year, like, I was going to say real quick, I remember last year I drafted him in fantasy, and I was like, well, I don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, no, nobody did, bro.
Because it was like a late pick, like, why not just, whatever, take a chance.
Yeah.
And then he ended up becoming the starting running back, and then he was, like, a wide receiver at the same time, so, like, for PPR, like, that was just a gold mine.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, even this year, it's like he's continuing again. I'm like, like, it's just, like, it's so odd to see. It, like, reminds me almost of the Saints quarterback, but, like,
Taysom Hill?
But he just gets more, like, more targets, I guess.
Yeah.
More chances to make plays, whereas, like, Taysom Hill is, like, very limited. Like, 1 week he'll get a touchdown, and that's, like, his big moment, and then the next game he does absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Also, apparently, Janine has been a fan of Cooper Kupp since 2017.
I mean, he's been a good receiver.
I guess she's the know-it-all, be-all of wide receiver scouting here. So.
Here we go. Love it. No, I mean, I've known about him, and I knew he was a good little wide receiver. Like, but I always put him in like that, your typical slot wide receiver guy. You know what I mean? Like, a pretty solid receiver. Nothing to like break the house. You know what I mean? Like, bring the house down. Like, I don't know. Like, he's definitely changed my perspective on him. But again, I need more. I know he got a fucking triple crown, and I'm still asking for more. I'm not asking for another triple crown. I'm just saying, like, show it to me one more year, and then I'll put you in that top 5 conversation.
But since we're pulling out scouting reports real quick, I've been all over on wide receivers. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, his rookie year. Jamar Chase, his next rookie year. Drake London, his rookie year. Like, what can I say, you know?
Just built different. I mean, I hear you. I drafted Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson rookie years. Like, I was going after Drake London, but he got fucking yoinked before I could get him. I have this bad habit of, like, when I have a guy for fantasy or whatever, like, and I'm like, all right, I think he's going to be the guy and he's going to be good, and I know he's like a rookie or something, I'll try to wait as long as possible to get him, and it ends up biting me in the ass. That happened like 3 or 4 times in my big money league draft. Like, there was a couple guys I was kind of trying to wait one more round on, and I didn't get, and that's kind of why my team's a little iffy. Not my favorite team I've ever drafted, but it still might get it done. But yeah, no, I mean, we've definitely hit the gold mine on rookie wide receivers in the past few years. It's been crazy.
Wish my running back drafting was better, but
I will say my running back I drafted James Robinson like in the 14th round last year, or not last year, 2 years ago, when he had that breakout rookie undrafted season, and everybody, like, they were like, who the fuck is this guy? And I was like, he's a starting running back for the Jags. And they're like, no, he's not, because this was like the year after Fournette got traded and nobody knew who the starter was going to be. And I was like, yeah, this guy's going to be the guy. And then there I was. He was the fucking guy. So I've hit a couple running backs, but I end up hitting more wide receivers. And I think that just goes to show, too, like, the way it works with the NFL. Like, at least in recent years, your wide receiver rookies can come in and do well day one. Running backs, not so much. I think it takes them a couple years to get to that point. And we really haven't had any, like, stud rookie running backs in recent years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we had Jonathan Taylor a few years ago. Like, I'm sure there's a couple rookies I'm forgetting, and I feel bad. But, like, none of them that have completely, like...
Leonard Fournette was really good.
Yeah, but none of them that have, like, carried your fantasy team rookie year. You know what I mean? Like...
Oh, no.
It just doesn't happen that much with running backs like it does wide receivers. But moving on to Packers, Bucks, another snooze fest.
I fall asleep.
Yeah. The Bucks had a chance to win it with the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that was like wild. I actually put that on.
They had a play drawn up that looked like it was going to be a walk-in 2-point conversion, and they had to delay a game penalty like fucking idiots. And then they had to do it from the 7 and then miss. Like, yeah.
Oh, man. I thought Tom Brady was going to do it. I really did.
Oh, yeah.
These back-to-back games here were so bad. And so fucking bad.
I truthfully think we're going to have another one here in a couple hours, Nick. I won't say much about the Packers and the Bucks. I will say solid game. I think I don't want to be the guy. We've been back and forth this whole time on injuries saying they don't matter. But
Tom Brady fucking sucks this year. I'm saying it right now.
Okay, you say that, right? And I don't necessarily disagree, but I will say this game is literally...
Janine, real quick. Janine told me the truth. His wife, right? Giselle, stopped doing black magic. It's over.
Oh, God. But no, I mean, the Buccaneers were missing literally 3 Pro Bowl caliber wide receivers. They were down to their 4th, 5, and 6 wide receivers on their depth chart. Again, next man up, you still got to play. Like, I'm not saying they lost the game because of that. They had chances, right? But I think if this game gets played again this week and all 3 of those guys are back, we're maybe singing a different tune. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Bucks probably end up putting 28 points on the board versus the Packers 14. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Brady hasn't looked the greatest. A lot of people are saying he should have retired when he was like he should have retired last year when he was doing great, putting up crazy numbers.
If he continues to have a bad year, I'm gonna feel so bad because like retiring as a loser, like sucking. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. That's not fun. Like that.
No, not at all.
Like that, you'll forever. Like, never live that down almost. You know what I mean? Like, you'll always just be like, man, like, why did I
Why did
I go back out there and just fucking suck ass? Like, you know what I mean?
Agree. I do think this is a different Bucks team. I think I said it last week. This is a Bucks team that needs to run the ball more, rely on their defense. Brady needs to kind of go back into that Patriots style of play, I think. But they're still competitive. I'm not saying they're probably still going to make the playoffs, but they're looking a little ugly right now. You know what I mean? Like, but we'll see. It's so early. Packers, 14 points. You got to do more than that. But I know the Bucks has a really good defense this year, so I'm not too worried about the Packers either. But
I'm just trolling a little bit with Tom Brady, but I think if he gets Mike Evans back and Chris Godwin back and he still doesn't do anything, then it's like I think it's time for him to retire.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah, no.
Like for sure,
100%.
He's having a rough year. He's my fantasy quarterback. He's absolutely terrible, costing me every week, pretty much, almost. So, not a fan of that, but I just really hope that he pulls it back. Like at the end of it's just so weird to me because at the end of the day, he's always been that guy since I've basically been alive. Like he's been the quarterback for the Patriots. He's been the base of the face of the sport as a whole.
100%.
It's just wild to me that it's like we're getting to the end of the era where it's like guys like Tom Brady are no longer going to be playing and guys like LeBron James aren't going to be playing. And those were guys that literally carried those sports for pretty much their whole career.
Through our whole childhood, too. You know what I mean?
From my whole childhood, Tom Brady's been the fucking guy. Fuck. I remember being a Dolphins fan and I'm like, fuck, we got to play Tom Brady. Fuck, we got to play Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It's just, it's going to be sad to watch him go out if he sucks. Because it's going to remind me of Peyton Manning and how he went out. That was not fun to watch.
With that being said, I think it's shaping up, at least early predictions. It's looking like there's no way that this isn't the last year for Brady, right? If he's playing like this and continues to play like this, you gotta assume he's done like this.
I'm assuming that the owner, someone's gonna walk up and say, "Fucking retire, you bum." You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Someone's gonna say something. Also, too, real quick, fuck you, Leonard Fournette. You lied to me. I'm your fantasy owner. You told me that you were gonna score a touchdown. Fucking hell, man.
Yo, I will say, at some point, yeah. I mean, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but the backup you need to pick up in your fantasy league. Rachaad White is a clear backup, and the running backs for the Bucks are literally getting fed. Fournette, I think, is getting the ball 20 times a game at least, and Rachaad White, the backup for the Buccaneers, is the clear backup. Fournette's never played a full season, so for fantasy, I would definitely pick up the backup. If you have a bench spot, just stash them. You never know. You might only use them 1 or 2 weeks here and there, but it's a good little pickup.
I'm just laughing because Janine sent me a source for the black magic shit, and it's actually real.
You tell Janine to stop sending you shit.
It's literally from 2019, and it says Tom Brady describes some of the crazy pregame ritual Giselle has him go through every week. I just started reading it, and it says right here. First, Brady noted that Giselle makes an altar for him at every game. I'm done reading at that point. What is going on here?
Moving on to the 49ers-Broncos game. Not going to say much about this. I will say I lost my fantasy matchup on this game. I've never been so anxiety-filled in my fucking life. Feed Javonte Williams, please. Stop giving it to Melvin Gordon. You're at the 3-yard line. Give the ball to fucking Javonte Williams. I would have won that game if he scored the touchdown instead of Melvin Gordon. Anyways, 49ers, throw to fucking George Kittle. I got him too. Man had 28 yards. Lock it the fuck in. Sorry.
This game
ugly
was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
I literally told you it looked like a Saturday Night Live sitcom. It did not look like football.
No.
I'm watching these guys step back, throws it, ball's high in the air, and nobody can catch it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Steps back, throws it, ball's tipped, oh, it's picked. Guys running the ball fumbles out. What the fuck was going on in this game? It was nobody wanted to win, nobody could do anything. Just shooting yourself in the foot over and over and over.
The Broncos had 9 3-and-outs, 10 3-and-outs, something crazy like that.
Yeah. Oh, I think both teams probably did. It was brutal watching. Nobody could pick up first downs. Nobody can move the ball. Like
I literally was playing the Modern Warfare 2 beta during this game because I was sitting downstairs watching this game and I was falling asleep and I was like, dude, I got to do something because this is just boring.
Oh, like it was a messy, ugly, just terrible game to watch. Like it just did not look good.
Everybody was saying the 49ers are going to be back to the 49ers of last year with Jimmy G, but 10 points, not going to do it, boys. Just not going to do it. Points per game.
Keep those L's going for the 49ers. Keep stacking them because I want that fucking top pick in the draft.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
But Monday night now, division game, Cowboys-Giants. We both went...
Giants. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited to watch this game because Kayvon Thibodeau is coming back for the Giants. I'm actually kind of curious to see, like, how good he looks. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be back.
He was the third round draft pick, right? Or the third overall?
He was up there. I can pull it up.
I think it was Trayvon Walker.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I think it was Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, and then... Third. Who was third? I think it was the Giants with Kayvon Thibodeau. Or the Giants might have had fourth.
Oh, so it was Trayvon Walker, first overall. Aiden Hutchinson, second. Derek Singletary Jr., third for the Texans. Sauce Gardner, fourth. Fifth was Kayvon Thibodeau.
I forgot there was 2 cornerbacks.
And then they also drafted Evan Neal, seventh.
Yeah, that's right. So fifth overall. Excited to see him play for sure.
I believe he's going to be playing. Because I want to say he was... questionable, and I believe their wide receiver Kadarius Toney is doubtful.
Yeah,
which again, I'm very disappointed with that guy. Like I drafted him in fantasy this year, taking a chance on him, but it's like, man, like he looks so like shifty. Like his route running looks nice. Like, but like the guy's like it's almost like Devontae Parker, the situation like that where it's like he's got all the tools that looks like he's gonna be good. And then, like, he just doesn't play. And it's like, what's going on with him?
I heard a rumor that he doesn't know the playbook. A year and a half into being in the system, doesn't know the playbook. Well, I guess technically only a half a year because it's a new system.
Yeah, it's probably a new system, but yeah, like...
I heard a rumor that he doesn't know the playbook. Yeah. I drafted him in my big money league, Nick, and I already dropped his ass. So, I gave him 2 weeks, and the dude literally had, like... 2 rushing attempts the first week. I think he had 1 target the second week. And I was like,
something seems wrong with him because so according to ESPN it says that he's expected to play, but something seems wrong with Toney because like the 1 week he didn't even get any targets really, like didn't touch the ball. So I don't know if he was like hurt or coach's punishment or something. Like he didn't really have any snap counts either. And then it looks like this week he's not even going to be playing. I don't think. And I was like, wait, what's going on with that guy? Like,
I dropped him, and I guarantee you the way my luck works, week 5 or 6, he'll come on strong and start putting up crazy numbers, and I'm going to look like a fucking idiot because that's how my fucking luck works. But, I dropped his ass because I don't know what's going on with that, and it's just... Like you said, he's got all the tools to be good. It just seems like they're not getting him involved, or he doesn't know the playbook, or he's just not figuring it out. I don't know what it is, but
I think they need to get him the ball. Said he's doubtful for tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like, man, like it sucks because like Janine just texted me saying he doesn't know the playbook. So there you go, I guess. But it is like it sucks because like whenever I watch like his college stuff, I'm like, man, this guy looks good, and then. It's like he's shown a little bit in the NFL a little bit. He's had moments, flashes, but it's like I was really expecting a lot out of him this year because again, you look at that wide receiver room. There's not much in there.
Yeah, you got.
Like he looked like he was gonna be the bright star in that room.
Yeah.
Like they've paid all that money for fucking Kenny Golladay, and again, it looks like that's not gonna pay off for them, unfortunately. Again, another guy that I don't know what's going on with him. Again, like his snap counts are low. I saw there was a thing saying that he believes he should get more more snaps or whatever. I don't know if that's again like another issue with the coach, like he's having issues with coaching or something like that. Maybe I don't know, but like who else is in there? Like Darius Slayton, is that his name? And
you got Sterling Shepard, Kenny Golladay, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kadarius Toney, of course. Those are the 4 guys that I can think about. I don't know if Darius Slayton is still there or not.
I thought he wasn't he?
He might be. He might be. But yeah, it just looks like for the wide receivers in that offense, the only viable guy right now is Sterling Shepard. And even then, like, I
Darius Slayton's still here.
He is? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I had high hopes for these two rookies coming in for the Giants, but it's like Wandale Robinson, unfortunately, he's been hurt, it seems like. And then Kadarius Toney, it's like his second year, and it's like your first round pick, you'd hope that you'd see some production out of him, but it's like, unfortunately, I haven't seen anything, and it's like, really? Like, it really sucks to see. But I'm actually happy for Saquon Barkley. Like, Janine always hated on him a lot, but it looks like he's putting together an actual decent season so far.
We'll see.
And again, like, he was, the third overall pick as a running back?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we've always said if he stays healthy, he's a difference maker. You know what I mean? It just, injuries were his biggest thing. Like, I was never a hater on his, like, gameplay. Like, I've always thought he's been a good running back. It just, injuries have hurt him so bad. But if he can stay healthy, it looks like he's on the right track to do that this year. And like you said, I'm happy for that because he is a good running back.
I just think the big thing is, like, you're a third overall pick. Like, you just want to see something out of him, and it's like he's been injured, hasn't really done anything, and then it's like now you're starting to see a little bit that he's like, okay, it's actually not that bad, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel you. On the other side of the ball, you got the Cowboys defense has looked pretty good. Micah Parsons has been killing it again. I think,
like I said, it should be fun to see him go against. I don't know what side he lines up on, so he's either going to be going against Evan Neal or against the Giants left tackle. I forget what his name is, but he's really good too. Oh my god, what's the left tackle's name for the Giants?
I
forgot his name, but he's really good.
Yeah. He's one of the top guys.
I'm sure Janine will tell me in like 5 seconds.
5 seconds, yeah. We'll wait on it. But yeah, I think this should be a pretty good game. It's a division matchup. I would like to see, for the Eagles' sake, the Giants to lose, but I think the Giants probably pull this game out.
I don't know. It's going to be probably a closer game.
Yeah.
Like,
I think so.
Andrew Thomas, there you go.
Andrew Thomas, that's who it is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if he's going up against Michael Parsons, if he's going up against Andrew Thomas or Evan Neal, like, that should be a fun matchup. I'm assuming they're probably going to try and scheme up against the rookie, but we'll see what happens. I really honestly think it's probably going to be a low-scoring, probably defensive type of game where it's like both teams just are struggling to move the ball a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
But I'll watch it. Should be interesting. See what happens.
Yeah. Kind of running out of time here. We're going to go pretty quick through these predictions for next week. Just real quick. I've made the come up, y'all, a little bit. We're getting there. The record's coming back up on the predictions. Nick's still beating me by, 6 games or something like that. So, hopefully... I'm trying to take some opposite ones of him just so I can catch up. But I'm trying to pick the right one so it doesn't bite me in the ass, you know what I mean? But...
That's the hard part.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm having fun with it. This is the first time too that me and Nick have ever done predictions throughout the whole year and kept up with it. So I'm interested to see how it turns out at the end of the year. We got a long season. With that being said, we got Thursday night football. Sucks I'm gonna be at work and won't be able to watch this whole game.
We're gonna speed for these predictions.
Fuck, man.
I'll walk mine in. Dolphins. Let's go.
I'm gonna take Bengals.
Alright.
Alright, next one. We got Vikings
Saints.
Saints. I'm going to take the Vikings on this.
Fuck me, dude. Vikings too, but man, this is two teams that just haven't been performing so far.
I agree completely. Next one. Browns Falcons. I'm taking the Browns.
I'm going to take the Browns. I think Nick Chubb has a big day.
I like it. Alright, Bills Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens.
You're going Ravens?
I'm going Ravens. Bills lose 2 in a row.
I'm going Bills.
Oh, this is going good already.
I'm going pounds back.
All right. Commanders, Cowboys, who you got?
Cowboys, I think. Not a big fan of the Commanders so far.
I'm not a big fan of either of these. I'm going to take the safe route and go with Nick and pick Cowboys.
You just want to lose. Seahawks, Lions.
Seahawks, Lions. I'm taking the Lions on this one.
Same.
All right.
I think the Lions have been unsurprisingly good.
Yeah. Chargers, Texans. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm gonna go Chargers. I think.
Oh, I thought you were all out on the Chargers, my guy. What happened?
I am, but it's the Texans. They fucking suck too. They gotta win this game.
Oh fuck!
If they lose this game, I'm officially done with them.
Yeah, I'm about to make a call. If they lose to the Texans, I'm probably officially out on the Chargers too.
There's just no way. Titans Colts.
Titans Colts. Coming off the hot win against the Chiefs, the Colts. Oh, fuck, do I pick them or do I?
I'm going Titans. I think Derrick Henry has a game.
I'm going to go Colts. They're on a hot streak. They just beat the Chiefs. They're excited. It's a shit toss-up either way.
Oh, I know. Matt Ryan's throwing 60 yards and 60 times this game. They're going to win.
The Bears-Giants, another one. I think I'm going to take the Giants on this one.
I'm going to go Giants, too.
Jaguars-Eagles. Jaguars hella surprising against the Chargers, but I think the Eagles are just playing so lights out right now all the way across the board. I'm taking the Eagles.
Eagles.
Alrighty, we got Jets-Steelers. I'm going Jets.
Really?
Yep.
If he plays, I want to go Jets, but...
If he plays Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to play.
I'm going to go Steelers.
Steelers? Okay.
I'll go different.
I like it. All right, we got Cardinals at the Panthers.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Cardinals look so bad.
A year ago, you wouldn't even be thinking about it, but now I'm like, man.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'll go Cardinals here. But it's tough. Because the Cardinals have looked bad. You're going Panthers? Okay.
I don't think the Cardinals are going to stop Christian McCaffrey. He's going to keep running.
Can we talk Baker against Kyler, huh? Two former teammates going against each other.
Packers, Patriots.
Packers.
But yeah, that also looks like an interesting matchup, though, with Baker, Kyler.
I'm going Packers here.
I'm going to go Packers.
Why'd you think about that?
They've both been shit.
There was too much of a pause between that.
I was giving it a thought,
Nah, bro.
Because the Patriots somehow, some way just win games, but it's if Mac Jones really isn't playing, I'm like, nah, there's no way.
Yeah, I hear you. Fuck, man.
I'm going Raiders. I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, they're both shit. I'm going Raiders.
I think the Raiders have looked better than the Broncos.
I'm going Raiders.
You're going Chiefs?
Fuck, man.
You gotta go Chiefs.
I said never bet against Tom Brady, but I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs. Tom Brady's washed.
I don't know. I wouldn't say he's washed, but I'm going Chiefs.
Oh,
Rams at the 49ers. Somehow, don't the 49ers always beat the Rams somehow?
I don't fucking know, dude. This season's been so bad.
I know, but previous years, I feel like the 49ers always beat the Rams.
Fucking Jimmy G's gonna find a way. I don't know how. Don't know why. He just will.
I'm going Rams.
Be disappointed on Sunday night, but maybe Monday night's his name.
I'm going Rams. 49ers just looked ugly, man. I'm going Rams.
They both look ugly. I don't know.
I mean, I agree. Yes. I'm taking Rams.
All right.
So we disagreed on quite a few this week, Nick. So do I make the comeback this week?
1, 2, 3. Excuse me, 4, 5. 6 games this week.
6 games this week are different. Okay, I like it. All right. Well, that wraps up our predictions. That wraps up our recap. I don't think I have any other news or anything to talk about. I think.
Shout out Janine. Best girlfriend ever. Bought me my Christmas present already.
What'd she get you?
PS5.
Are you on a PS5 already, or it hadn't come in yet?
No, it's at her condo.
Oh, okay. Damn, everybody's got a PS5. You got one.
Also,
Alex got
go
one.
Giants. Let's go.
Go Giants, huh? 2-0, looking at 3-0. No, I mean, I like it.
Can you imagine the ego we would have over here? My team's 3-0, her team goes 3-0.
I wish I had a fucking team. The team I would possibly root for is 0-2-1. Dudes can't even figure out how to lose 3 games. How do you do that? Fuck, man. Stupid. But
it's never too late to join the Miami bandwagon.
No, I mean, looking at it right now, right? So, and I know people are going to probably try to say bandwagon, whatever. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm a fan of players, right? That's how I've gotten old. As I've gotten older, I became a fan of players. I like the Dolphins. Yep. I like the Bengals. Like the Vikings. Like the Browns because of Watson.
When you just say your team sucks, so you start rooting for the players.
Hey, do you blame me? It's the fucking Texans. My guy, that organization is ran like by fucking children at this point. Like, once they traded away Hopkins, I knew that fucking organization was going to the trash can. Yeah, I'm a fan of the NFL. Like, I love a lot of teams. Like, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
I would say since I started watching college, it's been more fun watching like different players on different teams.
Absolutely, I will say
like you'll see them at the college level, and you see them on the team, and you're like, oh, like that's that guy.
Yeah, I think if I were to pick like a favorite team right now, if I like gun to my head, I had to pick one, and I still wouldn't even be able to pick one, but it'd probably be between the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Eagles. Like that would be my three teams that I'm picking between. But with that being said, that's probably gonna wrap up our episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment, talk to us. If you're new, say hi, what's up.
Follow the Twitch stream. Come join the stream, say hi, what's up.
Yeah, we pretty much we read chat for the most part during the live stream. We might miss a few comments here and there, but we're pretty good.
I just noticed the guy said to George, I didn't see George Kittle play last night. Did he play good? He played alright. Played decent. For the first game back, I would say. Wasn't great, wasn't bad.
I needed more out of him for fantasy. Anyways, we appreciate y'all. Like I said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. And yeah, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
We will catch you next Monday.
Peace.